Okay, so we are going to talk about how to talk to people. How do you talk to people? How do you handle people? How do you approach people about Monat? Okay, so number one, you've got your contact list. This is going to be 4 steps. 4 steps, so write this down. Number one, I form people. So I'll go to that contact list. I'll start with whoever I'm thinking of. And I call them up, or maybe I text them, or whatever, use their preferred method of communication, and I start forming them. So what is forming? It's an acronym, stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. So you're going to start and you're going to ask them about their family. Your business is going to be as strong as your relationships are, so forming them is going to build a relationship. It's going to build that rapport. So family, you're going to ask them about their family. So tell me about your family. Like, how many kids do you have? Are you married? Does your family live close? Do you live here because your family lives here? Oh, they live far away. Tell me more about that. How did you end up here? Okay, so you're asking them questions. The 3 questions that I kind of like to go back to is, what do you like about that? What do you not like about that? And tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about your family living in Michigan. Tell me more about how you guys want to adopt. I don't know. Okay, so number 2 is occupation. So what do you do for a living? What do you do? Oh, I'm a nurse. Okay, awesome. What do you like about that? What do you not like about that? Tell me more about that. Tell me more about what a day-to-day looks like. Tell me, I want to hear about it, okay? Number 3 is recreation. What do they do for fun? Do you guys like to travel? Would you rather not travel? Do you like to just sit in a corner and read a book and listen to music and sip tea? Okay, so what do you like to do for fun? And then number 4 stands for message, okay? So message. So, and that just is the next step. Okay, so in forming people, this is going to help you figure out their personality type. Let's see, I think I have a book in here. I don't know where it went. I used to have my book over here. If you guys have not read the 4 color personalities of MLM, I would highly recommend it. You can get it on Audible. I think you could rent it through the library. That is key. 4 color personalities of MLM, because when you're forming them, you're going to figure out what their personality type is, and you're going to learn what makes them tick. You're going to learn how to talk to them. You're going to learn what they generally care about. Like, they're going to tell you their why. They're going to tell you while you're forming them, they're going to tell you exactly what they don't like about their life, what they want to change about it. They'll tell you how to sell them, essentially. They'll be like, I hate my job. I want to quit my job. I want to be home with my kids. I want to send my kids to private school. I want to be able to travel the world. They will literally tell you how to sell them while you're forming them. And knowing their personality type is huge, because if I've got a green personality type who loves the details, very, very black and white, they're kind of methodical, they're a little bit more, like when you talk to them, they're a little bit more like monotone and just chill. But if I'm a blue personality and they're green, which are completely opposite, and I go, oh my gosh, hi, I love this is awesome, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun, we're going to talk to so many people, okay, they're going to be like, oh my god, stop, because that's not their personality type, and I can't talk to them. I can't be a blue talking to them like a blue, because they're not going to receive anything I have to say. Okay, so you have to know their personality type so you can know how to communicate with them. So forming is going to figure out their personality type, and it's going to figure out their why, like what is important to them, what's going to sell them, what do they care about in life, and it's going to, number 3, build the relationship. Okay, so form is the first step. Number 2 is telling your story. Now this should be 2 to 4 minutes long. Do not make this any longer than 2 to 4 minutes, because this process is not about you. They just opened up, they told you all these things about their life. You are going to relate to them with your story. Your story, you're going to cover 4 questions. Your background, not 4 questions, 4 things in your story. This is how to tell your story. What is your background? Your background is, this is a little bit about me. I usually tailor it to the person that I'm talking to. So if I have a part, you usually don't ever cover your whole story, because there's a lot of facets generally to everyone's life. So I tailor it down and relate to the person that I'm talking to. So this is my background. Number 2 is, this is what I did not like about it. This is the most important step. This is my background. This is where I came from. This is what I did not like about it. Number 3 is what I found. I found Monat. I found this incredible opportunity. I found this crazy hair care. I don't know. And then number 4 is what my future looks like now, or what it's done, what my life looks like now, or what my future looks like. If you just got started, then it's going to be more futuristic. So now I'm going to be able to pay off debt. Now I'm going to be able to stay home with my kids. Now I'm going to be able to quit my job. Okay, so this is your story. So you're going to tell your story, and keep it 2 to 4 minutes long. Okay, so number 3, you're going to do the Dare to Succeed. So you formed, you told your story, you're going to do the Dare to Succeed. I always say, hey, I don't really know if this is going to be a fit for you or not, but can I just show you, and you can just tell me what you think about it? I don't really know. And they're usually like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay, cool. I read this, Dare to Succeed. This is your moneymaker. I read this front and back. Don't skip over any parts. Don't skip over any parts. Read all of it. Go through all of it, okay? And then, generally, a lot of times they have masks on their hair whenever I'm doing this. So then I'll usually wash them. And then I'll say, okay, so what did you like about what you heard? And I stop talking. What did you like about what you heard? And you don't say anything, because at this point, you've already told your story. You've already done the Dare to Succeed. You have covered all of the information that you need to cover. So you shut your mouth and say, what did you like about what you heard? And just wait. It might be weird, but don't talk, because a lot of times we'll overcompensate and we'll spit and vomit all this information over them that they don't even want to know. They're processing all this information that you just told them. It's a lot of information, and it's a lot to chew on. So don't interrupt their thought process and let them process. Give them a little bit of space. Be like, what did you like about what you heard? And then I always ask, where do you see yourself in this? What are you kind of leaning towards? And they're like, I don't know, this business kind of sounds interesting. If they're leaning towards the business side, then number four step, so form, tell your story, read the Dare to Succeed. Number 4 is closing. Number 4 is going to be follow-up or closing. So if they're like, I don't know, I need to think about it. All right, girl, I'll call you tomorrow. Follow up with them. Follow up. Most people take 6 to 12 exposures before they ever buy, even as a VIP, or before they ever sign up in the business. So it might take 12 times of following up with them. It might take 12 times of inviting them to events. It might take 12 times of constantly talking about it, bringing it up. Hey girl, what are you thinking? Like, it might take that much. Some people more. Okay, so follow up. Following up is huge. The fortune truly is in the follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up, okay? But some people are ready for it. Some people are like, all right, they're ready to be closed. Okay, so once they're ready to be closed, and this is really just talking about the business side of it. So if they're ready to be closed in the business, and they're like, I'm really interested, like I'm really feeling this, and they're about 70% on board, I close them. So Eric Worre has a video. It's a closing video. We have it on our page. But the gist of it is how to close them. I ask, number 1, how much money a month would you want to make this opportunity worth it for you? Just realistically, just could be anything. How much money would you want to make? What would be if I make this much money, this is so worth it for me. What would you want to, how much money would you want to make? Okay. Number 2 is, so just like thinking off the top of your head, how much time would you be able to spend building this business? So just off the top of your head, okay, I don't know, like however many hours. Don't feed them any hours, because a lot of time they'll be like, I don't really know, and then we'll be like, well, maybe like 10 hours. Like, no, don't give them any numbers. Let them come up with the responses. Okay, so how much money, how much time? Number 3, you're going to say, okay, so how many months in a row are you willing to dedicate this many hours a week to make this much money a month? How many months in a row would you be willing to just stick it out, basically, to working this many hours to make this much money? Oh, I don't know, like, don't give them any numbers. I don't know, maybe like 6 months. Okay, perfect. So if I show you exactly how to do that, what else do you need to know to get started? What other information can I give you to help you get started? Because at this point, they have put it into their head like, oh my gosh, what if I did have an extra $1,000 a month? What if I did have an extra $2,000 a month? and I was working 10 hours a week, and this many months in a row. Like, what if I had that in like 6 months? So you've put it in their head so that they can see it for themselves. What else do you need to know to get started? And a lot of times they just kind of need to process it a little bit. Sometimes they're like, well, nothing, let's go. And I'm like, all right, girl, let's get you started. And I sign them up right there. Sometimes you need to follow up with them again. Okay, so, but that's the 4 steps. Form them, tell your story, do the Dare to Succeed, and follow up / close. Follow up / close. And that, my friends, is the secret recipe to closing your VIPs and market partners. Mostly market partners is kind of focused more on the market partner side of it, but I do this with everyone, no matter who it is. No matter who it is, because you don't want to ever prejudge anyone. So anyway, I hope that helped, and happy recruiting.